righty. Good morning, everyone. John Henry Soto here. Welcome to What I Say, the show that talks about social media. We talk about uh, building brands. We talk about developing content. We talk about so many different things, how to get leads, and all different things from different industries. Today, we're going to be talking about learn to develop a content viewpoint and increase sales leads, or if you have a brand. But before we get to that, let's just do some simple business stuff. My name is John Henry Soto. This is appreciated content, creating content you can actually use. That is the website there. If you have any questions, please just check it out. Send me a message. I'll be more than happy to talk to you, sit with you, and help you deal with whatever social media situation you may have. It is my pleasure, and I love doing this. So I was doing the robot there for a second. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. Last week we had a really great show. Got a lot of feedback from that, and I'm going to try to continue doing what I'm doing. And this show today kind of came to me because of a certain person I was talking. Certain person, like it's not a. I was talking to somebody, a possible client, and they mentioned about the content and developing the content and finding the content and how do I make time for the content? I don't know what to do with the content. And so this kind of thing kind of got into me. And I said, okay, I talk a lot about developing a content viewpoint, right? And what does that mean? That basically means to slowly, on a gradient, start building your mind with the idea of what content you can get on your daily life, on your daily basis, right? And I have a graphic that I usually show here, and it says you develop a content viewpoint by increasing awareness of your daily life. So what that means is if you're working in an office and you're building a brand outside, if you're working, or if that's just your brand and you actually want to increase your brand, well, on a daily basis, or let's say you're just not on social media at all, or you're just very little on it, showing pictures of the family and restaurants you've eaten and things like that, but you want to start utilizing it for your business. So you have to now start implementing content, right? And it has to be a lot of content, right? And it's insane how much content you need. And the reason for that is because there's so much noise on the internet. The internet is polluted with a lot of stuff that's not good, and there's a lot of stuff that's great that has to find its way. And then it's you trying to kind of get your content out there and trying to get some attention, right? So it has to be a lot so you can really generate that attention that you're looking for and to reach as many people as you want. So how do you incorporate that? Let's say I go and I tell you, I want you to try to develop 30 pieces of content per day. Well, that's very, very low considering what I've heard some numbers say 60, 70, 100 pieces of content a day. Now, when you get to those numbers, you really either have to have somebody with you or you have to be very, very quick, and it has to be your full-time gig, right? Because that's a lot of content. But a piece of content doesn't have to be complicated. It can also be something as simple as sending a tweet. So you're commenting on your brand, or you're actually engaging with someone on Twitter or on something. It could be a quick picture, a quick post, a picture of your logo, a picture of your hat, whatever it is. It can be something very quickly. So it doesn't have to be, content that's very well developed. Now you do need to do that, but that's something that you will develop and you will work into, right? So when I say develop a content viewpoint, I'm saying things like, well, on your daily walk, on your daily, when you're working out, when you're in the office, when you're talking to people in meetings or whatever it is, have your phone with you. Now, you don't have to necessarily take pictures of everything at every moment, although that'd be great too. Because you remember, you're developing a journey, right? You're sharing your journey with an audience, and that audience is that's gonna build trust, and then that's why they're going to call you when they need whatever the brand or the product is that you're actually referring to. So in order to do that, you have to do a lot of content. So if you have your phone with you, what you do is you're sitting at a meeting, you have your pencil, you have a book. I do this sometimes. It's kind of corny, but it does get it gets engagement, and it's effective. I take a picture of my pencil. I kind of like angle it, with the papers I'm working on, nothing obviously if it's a sensitive material that you can't really have it out there. So make sure it could be a magazine, it could be a catalog, or it can be something simple. And you get a couple of shots in the office while you're working, and you put your phone down, and then you pay attention to your day. You got 3 pieces of content. You got 3 now. That could be a morning meeting. In the afternoon, you're going to go get a cup of coffee. Well, hey, I'm out getting a cup of coffee right now. I just thought I'd talk to you a little bit about my brand and right? Takes like 2 minutes. Thank you very much. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Another piece of content, right? So this is something that you have to develop. It's not something we're born with, right? We're not born. We're actually not born even knowing how to walk, right? We have to learn how to walk. We're not born knowing how to drive. We have to learn how to drive. We're not born learning how to write, how to read. These are all things you have to learn. So with the content viewpoint, you also have to learn how to do this. It's something that you have to develop. Not really learn. It's more of a development, right? It's something that you have to kind of think on a daily basis. And when you wake up in the morning and you say, okay, well, my day is going to be this is it. And most people have schedules, right? So you know what your day is going to be, especially if you're working in an office setting, or if you have a business that you have to go to every day and open up shop. So when you develop, okay, I have a drive that's about, don't do this while you're driving. But I know I have a 30-minute, 40-minute drive or commute. If you're commuting, public transportation is a perfect time. There's a lot of stuff that you can get while you're on your journey. You can also talk about your journey. You can also, while you get your breakfast, you can talk about the place for the breakfast. These are all ideas. These are all just things that you can think with. Now I created this and I showed this, and people wanted me to email it to them. So I have been emailing this out. It's nothing really that, but when I put it together, it wasn't that what I thought, but apparently it triggers things, right? So this is actually something that I want to share with you. And these are just basically ideas of how to develop content and how to build it into your life, how to actually have develop that content viewpoint where when you're walking around, you're thinking, okay, remember, you're doing this for your business, right? This is not for a vanity. This is not because you want to be famous, or you're doing this because you have a business. And maybe your business is art and you want to get some publicity, and you want to get out there, and you want to expand your brand. But this is for your business. This is to feed your families and to help other people. If you have a powerful brand that can help lots of people, well, you have to get out there and do it. You have to get out there and create this content. Remember, social media is not emotional, right? It doesn't care about us. It's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to change. New platforms are going to come into play. The other ones are going to go out, and it's just going to continue. It's like technology. If you didn't get into the computer in the mid 80s, late 80s, 90s, and you didn't pay attention to computers, you said, I'm not want to pay attention to that. Well, you're going to hurt later on, right? And it's why every kid in school today gets a laptop, right? Gets a computer, because it's that important. So I think that you have to really understand the value of your content and of your life. Now, these ideas that you see here, these 20 ideas, everyone has something here that they can relate to, right? Obviously, we all eat out. Some people like to cook at home. I talk about unique things about a property for any real estate agents. I'm a real estate agent in New Jersey, still licensed there. I'm in Nashville now, but I am still licensed in New Jersey. So I do have a lot of content on real estate and developing a brand in real estate. So sometimes you run into a property that's really unique and different. You want to actually document it and put it out there. A new outfit that you got, a birthday coming up, business meetings, trainings, vacation trips, household tip that you learned. So this is what you have to try to develop this. And it's very, very interesting when it starts developing. This is where it gets really exciting. This is where it gets really exciting, because you'll start realizing that you just start developing it. It becomes almost innate, and you don't even think about it anymore. You start, I'm going to have my car. Oh, I love this mug. I'm going to take a picture of the mug and I'm going to post it later on, when I have some time, or I'll do it right now, whatever. You'll develop that, and you'll know more or less when is a good time for you to post, when you have the time, when you want to put in the time. And all these things are the development process. During the development process, you're going to run into barriers. The barriers are going to be time. They're going to be other people. You can't care what other people think. If you're walking down the street and you see something and you want to take a picture in front of it, well, people sometimes make fun of those people, right? They're like, oh, look at this guy, he's taking a selfie of himself. Oh my God, he's so full of himself. You know what I mean? You don't care about that because you're doing it for your brand. You're doing it for your family. You're doing it to really get your message out there. So you cannot care what anybody thinks about that. So you have to get out there and you have to do that. And you're going to run into those barriers. You're going to run into barriers of time. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I got it. And I understand that. There's a lot of things that you can do for that. I do a thing called where you audit your hours, where you audit your week. There's 168 hours in a week, right? 7 days. I should say 7 days. And I calculate hours from work, travel, food, eating, relaxation, recreational stuff, eating out, and see how much time you actually have left to sit down every few days for like an hour and start just putting out some of your content and letting your audience and your possible prospects and clients know who you are and what you're there, right? Remember, you're and when you start in social media, you're non-existent. Nobody knows who you are, right? And we all started that way, right? You have to start taking those steps, right? I had a comment here from someone. I just want to read this. Nancy O'Neill says, "Hi, John from Bayonne, New Jersey. We never met, but I saw you on social media and liked your help. I am just, I'll put this on there so you can see it. I'm just getting started. I'm building my online business." Oh, there it is. And you can check her out right there. Frenchiesmom.com is my site, and it isn't launched yet. It says coming soon. Oh, okay, cool. So it's not launched yet, everybody, but there it is. Okay, Nancy, that's awesome. So starting a brand new online business is, you have to dive into social media hardcore, because that's going to be, you're already online. That is what it is. Social media is online, right? Let me get a drink here. So you definitely need to actually get online as fast as possible. Now, there's some platforms, I don't know what your brand is, but if you want to reach out to me, I'll give you my info. You can message me and I'll give you a list of no charge. This is something that I like to do for people and just help them get started. If later on you need more help, we can sit down and talk. But I'll give you an actual battle plan that you can implement right away on your business to get started. What platform, I'll have to see what your business is so I can suggest the proper platforms, how to actually apply the contents to the platforms, how to get it, and then how to implement it into your daily life. If you're building a business, it might mean that you have already another job. You probably work 40 hours a week. You travel, you might have a family. So you got to juggle it in there, right? But it's very, very simple. Once you have a battle plan and you just stick to the plan, it works 100% of the time. All you have to do is just implement it. So you can always email me. Right here is my email. This is johnhenrysoto@protonmail.com. You could also just visit my website, and there's a lot of ways to contact me there. It's johnhenrysoto.com. And Bayonne in the house. I lived in Bayonne for 9 years with my wife. We moved there with one child, and then Bayonne gave me another child. Not Bayonne, but my wife did. So we left there 7 months ago, actually, and I miss everybody there very much. Met some amazing people there. The town is really great, and I miss the people of Bayonne, and Bayonne is great. So, thank you very much, Nancy. Hope to hear from you, and anything I can do to help, I would be more than happy. So let's go back to. I wanted to show you something really quickly. This are some of the numbers, worldwide numbers, right? This is a global overview of some of the social media use. And I don't want to go over all these numbers because not all of them are represented correctly here. By correctly, I mean that they're not relevant. They're not anything that I think is that valuable, but there's a couple of them here. The first one that you see there is number of social media users, 4.62. This was actually taken January of 2022. This was last month. So we got 4.62 billion people. Now remember, folks, there's about almost 8 million people. So that's more than half of the planet is using social media in one capacity or another. Another important thing here as a business owner or a brand developer, average time spent on social media, we see there on the top, the blue, is 2.5, almost 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 27 minutes on social media daily. So this is the average that people are spending. Now, think about this for a second. If you have a brand and you have something that you want to communicate and you want to convey to an audience and you want to actually help people, well, you have 2.5 hours of a lot of people's attention that their face is on social media. So we definitely know that the value of being on social media is tremendous when it comes to engagement on your brand and expanding your brand, right? Another interesting one here is social media users total population, like I mentioned earlier. 58.4%. That's more than half the planet is on social media. And then we have some numbers there. The female 46%, male 53%. That's pretty average. Social media users totally versus total internet users. So everyone is using the internet, right? I mean, the internet is a marvel. It's a revolution. It's as important as probably the printing press, the airplane, different forms of travel. I mean, it's huge. It's huge. Social media, and now not just social media. I mean, the internet as a whole, right? Um, Now, of course, there's a lot of things that people can tell you about social media, and they'll say, well, there's nothing better than one-on-one and going out and really meeting people. Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. But it's very difficult to reach 1,000 people at one time with one broadcast. You know, this way you do your broadcast, but yeah, at some point you have to talk to people, right? Like I do this, but I actually meet people. I go out and I have to sit there and I got to do these presentations for people live, right? And it's wonderful. I love doing that way more. I love this too because I get to engage. This is a lot of fun, but it's a little stressful. I got two kids. Sometimes they don't want to go to bed and I hear in the background and it gets a little stressful, but I love doing this. But when you're really engaging with someone face to face, there's nothing better than that, especially when you have a product to help someone. That's really what it comes down to. 12 and C. Ah, cool. I was on 34th and Avenue C. That's where I lived for 9 years. I lived in Bayonne, New Jersey. So what else did I have here? I have something else here. I get into conversations and I'm just like, so anyway, I remember back in, so some of the platforms, some of the places, I use a company called Streamyard to do my live that you see right here. Now with Streamyard, I don't get paid to say this. I love Streamyard. They're a great company. I get to stream this show that you're seeing right now live on all those platforms that you see down there: Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, as well as about 3 other Facebook pages, Facebook groups, and a couple of other places that I can't remember right now. But it streams on 8 different places. So the ability to communicate and the ability to reach out to people and share your product today in 2022 is better than ever. And you have to take advantage of it. You have to get the information. If you're unsure of it, you can reach out to me. I'm going to show my phone number, my direct phone number. I'm going to put it right there. You can actually send me a text, ask me a question if you have any questions. Send me an email if you have a more of a broader question. If you really want me to send you something that really breaks down what your business is and how you can actually start on social media, send me an email with a little bit of detail and I will send that out to you. But the important thing is to not listen to too many people that are negative about social media. We're not talking about taking pictures of your lattes. We're talking about increasing your brand. We're talking about making more money for your family. We're talking about freedom, right? Freedom for you to actually have a business and develop it right from your home, and be able to go out and share and help people. So it's really, really important for you to realize that this is not something that really is going to go away. It's just not going to go away. I mean, it happened when the radio came out. They were like, oh, radio is terrible. Kids are just standing there listening to the baseball game on these radios, and they're not going out and playing baseball. And the humans adapted to it. And yes, they did go out and they did play. Then the television came, same thing, right? Then internet, the computer, then cell phones, then everything that comes in. Now it's VR, right? People are putting on these things and not leaving their houses. Scary as that sounds, whether we like it or not, it is coming, or I should say it is already here. It's just hasn't really hit the masses yet. But there'll be a time when you'll put on a headset and you will go on a tour of a house right from your house, and you'll get to go to all the rooms and be able to look around the whole room, open drawers, open a refrigerator right from it sounds crazy, but it's happening right now. It is happening right now. There is a world out there that is pretty crazy. What we have to, stay connected to is humanity. We have to stay connected to ourselves and to our passions and things that we have to take that thing off and go out and experience the light and get some sun on our skin and get some exercise and eat well. All those things have to be balanced. And that's where education comes in. And I'm hoping that in the next couple of years that the school, all schools, actually implement a lot of this, what I'm talking about, into some kind of curriculum where they can teach kids to realize that this is not the world. This is a tool. This is an awareness tool, as I call it. This is to make the world aware of what I have to offer. It could be a brand. It could be a song, me, 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 me. It could be a guitar playing. It could be a film. It can be anything having to do with social justice, anything where you're trying to help people, anything that you're trying to battle and trying to get a cause through. All these things rely on this social media, and those things are important. It's just a tool. Let's not get crazy about it. Woo, man, can I talk? All right, folks. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Nancy. Hopefully I'll hear from you. And if anyone else has any questions, let me just flash my number up here. So this is my direct phone number. It's 201-878-6556. You can send me a text and let me know you want to talk, or send me a text that you want to email me, or just a quick question if you have a question. I'm on social media as John Henry Soto, pretty much on every platform that you can imagine. Just Google John Henry Soto and you'll see stuff coming up. And that is all. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all again next Thursday night at 10 p.m. Central. And I look forward to your comments and questions and suggestions. If you think I should talk about a specific thing, please message me as well. I'd be more than happy to dive into that as well. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves. God bless. And as always,